Hello and welcome to our third short video of the series, Getting Started with Sextant on the AWS Marketplace. In this video, we will show you how to deploy a Sawtooth network on Kubernetes. In the previous video, we logged into Sextant and we created a user called AppDev1, and then we launched our first Kubernetes cluster, all in a matter of minutes. Now we're going to deploy a Sawtooth network onto that cluster using our BTP distribution of Hyperledger Sawtooth 1.0.5. So here you can see the cluster we created called My First Cluster. So if we navigate to this, we are then presented with a screen with some basic questions about how we want to configure our Sawtooth network. And as we're not trying to connect to a pre-existing Sawtooth network, we do not enter an external seed address. For this demonstration, we will leave the peering type as dynamic, and the Genesis block we will enable because this is going to be a brand new Sawtooth network. There are two consensus algorithms available in Sawtooth 1.0.5, Poet and Dev mode. We expect more consensus algorithms to be available in future Sawtooth versions. We're going to select Proof of Elapsed Time, or Poet, rather than Dev mode because Dev mode should not be used with more than one validator and would not therefore work in this case as we're creating 3 validators using all 3 nodes in our Kubernetes cluster. We will return to transaction processes in another video in more detail. For now, we're simply going to choose one of the ones which is supported out of the box. So for this demo, we'll use the tic-tac-toe transaction processor, and also it's always worth remembering that Ceph and identity TPs are automatically deployed as part of the base Sawtooth network. We're then simply going to deploy the network, and unlike the creation of Kubernetes clusters itself, this should really only take a couple of minutes. And whilst you're waiting, what we're providing you is with a summary page where you can see the pods, the services, and the volumes. Within 1 minute, we've now deployed Sawtooth onto the Kubernetes cluster. Now the other thing we can do is open the monitoring, which takes us to the login for Grafana, which is something that's been provided by the Sawtooth open source community. If we log into this, and then navigate to Home, and then Sawtooth Performance, you can see that there is already activity on the network. Because to maintain the health of the Sawtooth network, one of the things that Sextant does is it uses identity transaction processors to basically ping the validators to make sure they are healthy. So what you're seeing now is exactly as you'd expect, just getting started. In future videos, we will show you how to personalize your Sawtooth network, where personalize means adding in additional transaction processors, including the ones that you've developed yourself.